rectangular openings in there that we've also depicted in the concept 1 and 2. The current bridge design that we have right now, first I'll show the north side of the bridge. This is a side where we do not have a sidewalk on it, just for vehicles. And there we're able to go with a shorter railing, and you can see the vehicles and very well on that side. And on the other side of the bridge, the south side of the bridge, we're showing the concept 2 or concept 1 with the metal railing on top of there. And this was based upon previous input that we had gotten from council and the other boards as well. One thing I would like to point out here as well is that we have added some lights into the bridge at the 4 corners, which fit in with the rest of the lights that we are used in Maplewood. And we have a pilaster at each of the corners to support the light. So really what we're showing here is on kind of a combination of both of the railing concepts, where we have the shorter railing. We're using the solid concrete railing, where we have the taller railing. It's the metal railing on top of a concrete base. With that, I will turn it over to Todd Hallinan from Kimley Horn as well, who will talk about some of the form liner that we've looked at, those patterns, as well as the rest area.
And so now you're Todd.
I'm Todd Hallinan, Kimley Horn. Mayor and council members, I want to draw your attention to the 3 samples that Mr. Thompson had mentioned earlier. These are what we call form liners, and these actually it's a liner that goes inside the form when they pour the concrete for the bridge itself. And technology has come a long way where we actually can do colorants on there. They literally will paint this to look similar to what's out there today. Our preference originally was probably to actually take a form liner off the existing bridge, but because of the degradation of the limestone that's out there now, the form liner consultant that we're working with was very concerned about actually getting a true form off of there. And unfortunately, because it's been 80 years, we aren't really looking at what the limestone looked like originally anyway, so there were a couple issues there. And the cost of doing that is fairly significant. So we looked at what we thought was the next best option, is to come up with an existing form liner that looks very similar to what's out there today, and that's what we're presenting to you tonight. This first one on your left, which we call option A, is what we felt was as close as we can tell that's out there now, but the one that's in the middle is very similar. You can see the pieces are a little bit elongated than what would be the existing conditions that you see on your sheet. And then lastly here, option C, which we call the home and field ashlar. Again, similar, maybe a little bit larger stone. If you want to turn to the next page, one of the other aspects of the site that we're looking at is a commemoration, a rest stop, an opportunity for people that are using the trail to not only find respite as they're walking the trail, but also to maybe learn somewhat about the bridge itself, the history of the bridge. If you look in the upper left-hand corner, just to the south and east of the existing bridge is the yellow blob, if you will. That's the rest stop location, roughly. And then if you look a little bit to the right of that, here's a schematic of what that rest stop might look like. We have come up with the concept of actually creating possibly a different pattern as you're walking over the trail system itself to give notice as people that are walking along the trail to know that you are now entering in a, possibly a different area in commemoration and celebration of this bridge and the arch itself. The 2 options, again, that Mr. Thompson talked about earlier was this concept A And that's very simply just having some sort of historical marker there that would talk about the bridge, the history of the bridge, when it was built, how it was built. And our hope would be that we'd actually be able to take pieces of the limestone that are on the existing bridge now and then place those on a backing material so people would actually look at that and see what the limestone looked like. And very simply, it would just be a bench there, and then again this pylon there that would have that information. The concept B that's next to that would maybe taking it a step further by actually recreating a portion of the arch, just enough where people can actually look, touch, and feel that. And then also we'd still have that opportunity for commemoration by having a plaque on the other side, which would be on the right-hand side of your drawing there, the stubbier portion of the arch itself. I went briefly over the form liner information. I just want to make sure that everybody understands how that works. I won't go into the details unless somebody's interested in finding out what that process actually is. Oh, good, okay.
I'd be interested in finding out what it costs. So if we have a regular concrete bridge versus that one, how much more money are we spending?
Mr. Thompson, you want to?
The Mayor and Council, obviously just going with a regular bridge is going to be quite a cost savings. So doing, a form liner similar to this, there is the added cost of, setting this up for each pour and then also coming back and coloring the stone. So it's a decent amount of money. I can't give you a number right now. That's something we could work up, but this does add cost compared to just going with a regular concrete bridge. That's the simple answer.
And what's the warranty that it stays looking just like this?
Mayor and Council, from my understanding, these are very durable products, and there's actually a coating that goes over this that helps, provide, extra life. So there is some maintenance that is involved, but it's expected to have a very long life. I would say, be safe to say, in the 60 to 100 year range, and I'm sure the consultant can more specifically.
And so then the question, of course, was to the warranty, not to the expected lifetime. I mean, when I build a deck, I expect it to last for 30 years, but it's warranted for one.
Yep.
That's what state law is. And so I want to know how long somebody's going to make sure it stays looking like that if I'm going to pay for it.
Yeah, Mayor and Council.
Without me paying for it to maintain it.
Mayor and Council, typically for a construction project, a 1-year warranty is typical. If you wanted to get an extended warranty, say a 20 or 30-year warranty, I'm sure there are people that would offer that, but at a significant upfront cost for that insurance. So, for something like this, typically it would be a 1-year warranty, and that would be standard too for just a regular concrete type of bridge.
Mr. Lannis.
Are the funds that have been secured so far, the 1.4 of the necessary 1.7, 1.8, are they conditional based on the design of the bridge, or are those funds available regardless of the design?
Yep, good question, Mayor and Council. I'll quickly go over that. This is about a $1.7 to $1.8 million total cost project. And we have secured just under $1.4 million from state bridge bond funds, so no local funds. We're actually getting this money in hand, and that is all applied directly to participating construction costs. So anything that is above and beyond just the typical concrete bridge, the city would have to come forward with additional municipal state aid funds or local funds. But in essence, the majority of this bridge is paid for, but the city would have to take on some additional costs for the interpretive, the rest area, and also for some of the design enhancements that go along with that.
So, just to make sure I understood you, the 1.4 that we've secured covers the necessary construction of the bridge, and the remaining $300,000 to $400,000 is for what you described as the enhancements that we're having conversations about today.
Let me clarify, Mayor and Council. Yeah, some of that would be enhancements, but a majority of that would be the project development, the inspection, the designing of the bridge. So anything that's non-construction, the city would have to pay out of municipal state aid funds or local funds. So a portion of that would be the aesthetics, but a majority, I would say, would be the design of the bridge and the inspection and the project development.
He didn't answer the question. No. We'll move on for now.
Okay.
So, let's see, are there any other questions having to do with that? So, it says in our recommendations here that what we're supposed to do is provide final direction on the bridge design aesthetics in order to allow completion of the final bridge design. And so, let's see, we have a couple of members from our commissions here, Historical Design Review, and I think maybe from the other design board.
Yeah, we all are.
Is it Boy Scout night also?
Richard Curry, Vice Chairman of the Maplewood Heritage Commission.
Uh-huh.
The commission really did not want to even replace the bridge, but because we didn't want it to fall down on somebody, we agreed to go, but they wanted it to look the same as it is now. It was built back in 1936 by the work program, so it had federal money. The society came to me and they said, one of them said, because it's getting some money, it might need another survey from to manage, but we wanted to go with concept 2 and to make it look the same as it is now. They don't need a trail on that bridge. If you go about 100 yards down, there's a footbridge on the south. 20 yards to the north, they got the Gateway Trail. They're out there for exercise. Why do they need to go across the bridge, have a trail across the bridge? They might as well put the culvert in the, or the creek in a culvert and then blacktop the whole thing and they can cross anywhere.
Pete Belay, 1100 East County Road C with the Historical Preservation Commission, unless we've changed it, the name of it. Just a couple of comments on the bridge. We've been working on this a while, and my first comment is about the Concept 1 versus Concept 2. I was trying to figure out why people would want Concept 1 over Concept 2, and I see in the, was it the Design Review Board discussion that the 54-inch metal railing would be enabled for people to be able to see, I guess, the creek and the trails below. Now, the funny thing about that is the only people in my house that are below 54 inches are ages 7 and 10, and do I really want them lingering on a Frost Avenue bridge to enjoy the scenery below? That would be one reason why I prefer the Concept 2 with the concrete how it is now, or the block. And not only that, aesthetically, it'll look a lot better from below. This is a kind of bridge you're better off to enjoy from below, not on it. So that view that was up there earlier approaching from the south is kind of the view we'd like to see. And I don't know if there's any cost difference between the metal railing and having the stone in there, but I had asked that question, but I never did get a good answer for that one. Does anybody have that? Is there a cost difference?
Do you have any idea if there's a cost difference, Mr. Thompson?
Mayor and Council, we discussed this earlier before the meeting with the consultant, and yeah, if you take a full height concrete railing, the additional weight does require one additional beam on the bridge. So it's, I believe, in a ballpark, it's roughly $20,000 to $30,000 of additional cost because of the extra weight and the requirement of an additional beam.
And then how much cheaper would it be without a bike path on it?